How are you, Afan? Alright. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إذ قال الله يا عيسى ابن مريم اذكر نعمتي عليك وعلى والدتك إذ أيدتك إذ أيدتك بروح القدس تكلم الناس في المهد وكهلا وإذ علمتك الكتاب والحكمة والتوراة والإنجيل وإذ تخلق من الطين كهيئة الطير بإذني فتنفخ فيها بإذني فتكون طيرا بإذني وتبرئ الأكمه والأبرص بإذني وإذ تخرج الموتى بإذني وإذ كففت بني إسرائيل عنك إذ جئتهم بالبينات فقال الذين كفروا منهم إن هذا إلا سحر مبين وإذ أوحيت إلى الحواريين أن آمنوا بي وبرسولي قالوا آمنا واشهد بأننا مسلمون إذ قال الحواريون يا عيسى ابن مريم هل يستطيع ربك أن أن ينزل علينا مائدة من السماء قال اتقوا الله إن كنتم مؤمنين. No, 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 no. Yeah. بروح القدس وكهلا. Stretch it. Okay. Okay. No, 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 no qalqala, no qalqala, no qalqala on that. It's بإذني. Okay, no, 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 no qalqala on lam. It's wal abrasa. Focus, man, focus. Wal abrasa bi'izni. Aha, 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 aha. Wa idh kafaftu. Sadaqallahul Azim. We commanded them, the Bani Israel, in it the Torah. A life of the murderer will be taken for a life of the one murdered. An eye of the attacker will be blinded for an eye of the one whom he blinded. Similarly, a nose for a nose, an ear for an ear, a tooth for a tooth, and qisas, just retaliation, will be enforced for other types of wounds when the same wound can be inflicted. These laws apply in our Sharia as well. Whoever acts charitably by forgiving the attacker and waiving the qisas, it will be expiation for him. It will be a means for his sins to be forgiven. Whoever does not judge by what Allah has revealed, then they surely are oppressors, transgressors in their footsteps, in the footsteps of the other Anbiya. We sent Isa, the son of Maryam, confirming the teachings of the Torah that was before him. We gave him the Injil, in which there is guidance towards the truth, and light the commands of Allah, confirming the Torah before him. Yet the Injil was also a guidance and advice to those who adopted taqwa, who feared Allah. Alright, one important thing. In various places in the Quran, similar as this, Allah has revealed it at least three times. Allah has said, whoever does not judge by what Allah has revealed, then they surely are oppressors. There, and in another verse, it is also written, I'm paraphrasing the meaning, whoever does not judge by what Allah has revealed, then he is surely one of the kafirun. And in another verse, one of the fasiqun. So, what does it mean? What does it really mean? These verses, and there are some other principles in Islam, if we put them all together, they dictate that democracy is not Islamic. What is democracy? The representatives of the people, whatever the majority of them decides, that is a law. Is it correct or not? Yes. So what if the majority decides a thing which Allah has instructed not to do? For example, homosexuality is legal in most of the countries today in the current world. Is it allowed in Islam? No. So, how did homosexuality become legal when even Christianity does not make it halal, when even Judaism does not allow it, when even Islam does not allow it? Simple answer, democracy. So, whoever does not judge by what Allah has revealed, then they surely are oppressors. There is no guarantee that in democracy, people, the leaders, will be judging according to Allah's law. Because in democracy, the principle is the representative of the people, whatever the majority of them decide, that will be law. Same is the case with monarchy. Monarchy is not also Islamic because whatever the king will decide, that will become the law. Whatever the monarch will decide, that will become a law. Similar is case with dictatorship. Whatever the dictator decides, that will become the law. That is not Islamic. So, what is Islamic then? Uh, the Arabic term is Khilafah, and in modern terms, in order to understand the concept, we can say one party dictatorship within the limits of Islam. So, that will be one party rule, but it has to be uh, confined within the limits. So, within the limits of Islam. So what it means is that that party or the rulers cannot create any law which goes against the Quran and Sunnah. If they dictate anything, if they make a law which goes against Quran and Sunnah, then people can challenge the government through the court. So the judiciary will then come in power, and they will decide, and they will rectify, or whatever you say, they will disallow this act of the government. That is the proper way of doing the things according to Islam. So in Islam, yes, there is consultation. Yes, people do consult. People, the rulers will have to consult with the experts in every field regarding the policies which they are implementing, and the policies which we are deciding to implement. However, all those consultations, all those implementations, all those of policy making will be within the limits of Islam. Are you getting my point? Yeah. So this is a very strong argument against those who say that democracy is Islamic, or it can be Islamic. It cannot be Islamic because the principle here is majority rules. But Islam says only Allah rules. So even if the entire humanity creates a law or decides a law which is against Islam, that is not acceptable, no matter how much numbers vote in favor of it. So in democracy, people are counted. In Islam, quality is being seen of the people which are giving the vote, or which are uh, giving their advice. So in Islam, not every Tom, Dick, and Harry is being consulted. It is very simple. There is an organization, there is a company. Can you make any person the CEO of that company, or will you prefer a person who is able to run the company, who is well versed with that business, who is well versed with that, who is an expert? Will you make that person the CEO of that company, or will you recommend any random guy to be the CEO? What will be your decision? Yeah, so the man who is well versed. So every person in a nation is not well versed with the political affairs of a state. Is it correct or not? Yeah, so every person cannot be consulted in affairs of the state. There are many major issues. For example, the economic issues or the political issues. Not we cannot take advice from every person. So uh, there are many problems in democracy and in other forms of government which goes against Islam. Islam has its own political vision, and it has its own political principles. Now, obviously, there is no set term in the Quran or in the Hadith for the political system of Islam, but we are going to judge all the political systems according to the principles which have been told by us in the Quran and Sunnah. And the closest system in modern times is one party system, but but there is a condition that that party cannot be a total dictator over the state, but it has to follow the rules of Islam. And if it does not follow, then the judiciary has to come, and they will have to enforce this thing, that the government cannot create any law or implement any law which is against Islam. and the people will be able to challenge the government through the court. So, a strong judiciary and a just, honest judiciary is necessary in order to for that system to function properly. And at the end of the day, any system can be cheated. Humans are very intelligent creatures; they can cheat anything. But at the end of the day, it is taqwa, it is piety, uh, which is needed the most. As far as the common people are concerned, and as far as the leaders of those people are concerned, they have to be pious enough in order to practice Islam properly in its proper and in its complete form. These are the things which need to be understood. Are you getting my point, Afan? All right. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.